Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. There's a popsicle. Well, the devil is a trickster and a hell of a teacher. We talked about last time, basically, the 10 commandments that the devil gave Napoleon Hill to keep people from what he called drifting. The devil goes on to explain this law of hypnotic rhythm and how it works and how it pulls people in to basically thought patterns that are very unhealthy for them, and then continues them down a thought spiral all the way down until the devil owns them. Basically, the devil says that he controls 98 out of 100 people's minds. Now that was in the 30s, so I think we're getting pretty close to 99 at this point with all these tricks that the devil is owning up to. Now, before Napoleon Hill asked the devil specifically about hypnotic rhythm, he asks how someone can be free from drifting. And drifting, again, is losing control of our mind. Nature abhors a vacuum. We give over to not thinking actively, controlling our thoughts, and then get led down a spiral of thought and basically lose our free will over time. It's a choice. So Napoleon Hill asked the devil what we can do if there was one thing, after he tells him the 10 commandments, to ensure that we don't drift. And the devil says, to be definite in everything you do and never leave unfinished thoughts in the mind. He says to form the habit of reaching definite decisions on all subjects. Closing our own thought loops and being very proactive about how we use our minds keeps us in a position where we're not influenceable. We're not manipulated by external circumstances. The devil then says that rhythm is the last stage of habit. Rhythm is created with habits over time. And then he begins to use the analogy of a whirlpool, that if something is floating in a river, it's floating, and then it comes toward a whirlpool, and as it gets taken into that whirlpool, it just gets sunken down, and then it's over. At that point, the devil owns, through that whirlpool, that thought stream, that vortex, basically, that our minds go down, and now the devil owns our mind. That's how he begins to own people's minds. As they begin to drift, and then he takes them down that drifting whirlpool, that vortex of drifting. So the devil lures us away from our purpose by presenting us with vortexes of thought that really don't have anything to do with our connection to our why we're here. So he will tempt us with, different vortexes, different whirlpools of thoughts here and there. And once we give over, then we begin to go down that spiral. And then before too long, here we are, we're stuck in this spiral. We've gone down, and now he owns our minds. So then Napoleon Hill says, well, what do you do with all these people who you own their minds? What use are they to you? And then the devil says he uses them, the drifters, as propagandists to help him prepare the minds of others to drift. Don't we have these things in our society who are called influencers? These icons, these people who we appreciate, emulate, give a lot of praise to. And where do they direct our thoughts? It's an interesting question. Because, why would you call someone an influencer if they were telling the truth? I know lots of great philosophers, they weren't called influencers. You don't call Aristotle an influencer or Emerson an influencer. So once we begin to neglect our own mind and listen to the opinions of others, we start down a trail of thoughts that are not helpful for us. Really, at that point, what the devil wants to instill in us is fear. Fear will always keep us in that spiral, going down, going down, going down, and giving up our power in order to stay safe. He says that his biggest trick is using the fear of death because of the mystery of death in each one of us. We don't understand it, so he uses the fear of death to cause people to be afraid, and then at that point he has their mind and down the vortex. So anyone who succumbs to fear in any regard, whether that be fear of life, fear of death, fear of rejection, is succumbing to drifting through the law of hypnotic rhythm. Ultimately, this fear will take us into that spiral of hypnotic rhythm, and habit becomes permanent. Now, the last trick that the devil uses is the fear of public humiliation, public criticism. He threatens Napoleon Hill, saying, if you publish this, then you will be shamed. You will be crucified, he says. And then Napoleon Hill's like, I thought that went out of style a while ago. And the devil's like, no, you'll be financially crucified. You will be crucified by society, basically. You will be shunned by all of society for publishing this, which might be a big hint as to why this book didn't come out until 2011. The devil says that the law of hypnotic rhythm is the same very law that is used to hypnotize people. And when we talk about people sleepwalking through life, that's exactly what we're talking about. Someone's gone down a vortex of thought and they no longer have control of their minds. Napoleon Hill then asked the devil how he was able to avoid being sucked down a vortex of hypnotic rhythm. And the devil says that it was through his union with his wife, that they had created a mastermind, that the two of them together, through synergy, were able to ward off him going down a dark abyss of thoughts. Now, in the beginning of the book, he does go through some fearful things, but his other self wakes him up, and then he goes off and does what his heart tells him to do. Now, our heart is connected to infinite intelligence, and that's where our power lies, and that's where our purpose is. Our purpose connects us. And so through masterminding, through creating a group, Napoleon Hill, him and his wife, were able to ward off going down these dark abysses of thought. And this 2021, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a group, a mastermind, a community of people who want to help each other, inspire each other, and push each other to great heights, even with the dumpster fire in the background that we all are witnessing right now. No matter what is going on, because it's all uncertain, right? That's how he gets you through the fear of death. Well, I don't know what happens after I die. Well, what if he found out that it was the most amazing experience ever? Maybe we wouldn't fear it so much at that point, right? Like, I don't know what happens. Nobody does. That mystery remains. We have myths about it. But that's how he gets us, right? Well, we're very uncertain about the economy. We're very uncertain about what is going to happen this year. And so through creating a community, through creating a mastermind, we can not only succeed, but we can literally soar. And that is what I'm trying to do. So please hop on my email list. I have a 5-lesson series right now going out about Transurfing 2021 with some tips and tricks in there. So please hop on that. And let's get to work on putting together a community that's inspiring, that's going to put us to many, many heights and help us support one another and be super supportive and understanding and helpful and begin to build those relationships. So hop on that email list and let's get going. It's 2021 and your purpose is knocking at your door. Check me out on all the platforms at Bootsy Greenwood. Check out my website. Get on the email list, bootsygreenwood.com. Big thanks to contentsafe.co, my good friends, my partners over there who are distributing this content so it doesn't get censored. Folks, now's the time. Wake up to your purpose. Peace.